welcome back to another edition of Gary's Record Collection. This time out, it is the Christmas season, and I went through some of my Christmas albums to pick out a few, and we're going to be looking at a bunch of those in several episodes. But one I was actually surprised by in a technical sort of way. I'm going to let you in a little secret of how I do my stuff. Let's say I select a record I want to spotlight, throw it on the turntable, record it to a computer, and, it's like a record's 15, 20 minutes on each side. You put the needle down, you walk away, you do some other stuff, you come back, you flip it, you put the second side down, you trim it up in a program like Audacity, which is free. We like free, by the way. And that's it. So I did this with this one Christmas album that I had, and I come back like 15 minutes later, I'm thinking it's the end of the side, and it was stuck after the first song. I was like, what? Now I realized it was manufactured that way. And now we're going to talk about this album. This is something that was sent to radio stations only in 1970. And here it is. It's for Christmas Seals, A Matter of Life and Breath. You remember Christmas Seals, right? So this album has 8 songs on it, plus messages from the people. So like here's Gary Lewis, from Gary Lewis and the Playboys. They've got a song on there, This Diamond Ring, but at the beginning of it, they have a little message about contributing to Christmas Seals. And actually right on the back, at the very bottom, it says, this record is solely for station use, not for sale. Well, somebody, of course, took it home with them, and it's in their collection, and it got donated somewhere, and I picked it up. I got it because, of course, Herb Alpert's on here. And there were a bunch of different styles of this record. It shows you on the back available. You can get like 15-minute shows, 5-minute shows, and then this one is just the particular songs that they put on this album for radio station use. So back to what I found when I dubbed it. Now here is the actual album. And that's hard to tell, but if you look, you see that the grooves between the songs are a little bit thick. They're thicker than you would normally see. And what happened is they manufactured it so when it got to the end of the song, it was just like getting at the end of the record. It stopped. It just sat there and just like bop, 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 like that. And it would not advance to the next track. And that's because, for radio stations, you kind of want that because you want your song to play, and then if the DJ goes and does something else, then the next song doesn't just automatically play. So it's a fascinating thing. And so obviously it's why it was not sold in stores that way, because people would be bringing it back going, my record's broke, it won't play after the first song. I have to manually drop the needle. So there you go. So what is this album anyway? So I went through and picked a few. We're going to listen to a couple of the selections on it to see what the gist is. This is Glen Campbell right off the top.
Hi, this is Glen Campbell. I've sung a lot of songs in my time, and when the Christmas Seal people asked me to choose one of my favorites for you, well, it took a bit of thinking. But I came up with one I think you'll like. It's called Gentle on My Mind. But before we get started, I'd like to talk to you about another favorite of mine, Christmas Seals. Sure, they're small, and they look nice on your holiday cards and packages, but they're really important weapons, because they've been fighting tuberculosis, emphysema, and other respiratory diseases for over 60 years, and they're still on the job, 365 days a year. So use lots of Christmas Seals this year, and answer your Christmas Seal letter quickly with an open heart. It's a matter of life and breath. And now, let's hear Gentle on My Mind.
It's knowing that your door is always open and your path is free to walk. That makes me tend to leave my sleeping bag rolled up and stashed behind your couch. And it's knowing I'm not shackled by forgotten words and bonds and the ink stains that are dried upon some line. That keeps you in the back roads by the rivers of my memory. It keeps you ever gentle on my mind. It's not clinging to the
Glenn Campbell, what a great guitar player. There was a great documentary, by the way, called This Is Me. Came out maybe 8-9 years ago. You should check it out. Glenn Campbell was a great guitar player. And yeah, he was pigeonholed as like a country artist. But I mean, when you're that good, you're just good, right? It doesn't matter the genre. So yeah, Glenn Campbell. I've got a bunch of Glenn Campbell records in my collection because he was just really, really good. Beyond what you might remember from like Rhinestone Cowboy, or any of those songs that maybe pigeonholed him into one genre. So there you go, Glenn Campbell. Also on this record is Dionne Warwick with What the World Needs Now. It's like this is just a nice little song. Here is Dionne Warwick before she starts her song.
All singers, no matter how many songs they've recorded, have one special favorite. Hi, this is Dionne Warwick. And when the Christmas Seal Association asked me for one song that's closest to my heart, I told them that it would just have to be What the World Needs Now is Love. I'd like you to hear it, but before you do, I'd just like to say a word about something else that's close to my heart. Christmas seals. Please use them generously and help support the year-round battle against emphysema, tuberculosis, and air pollution. It's a matter of life and breath. And now here's that song I promised you. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb. There are oceans and rivers enough to cross, enough to last till the end of time. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world.
And so you really can imagine hearing this on AM radio back in 1970, that they would just play this in. So it would sound like there's just an announcement right before the song, a little commercial or public service announcement. These are great. Now I was listening to Glenn Campbell and Dionne Warwick, and it doesn't necessarily sound like those are Christmas songs, right? So let's leave it to Mel Torme, who actually has a Christmas song, and he introduces it right here. It is Mel Torme.
Hi, this is Mel Torme. Of all the holiday songs around, there's one that's very special to me, the Christmas song. I wrote it, but I've rarely gotten a chance to sing it. However, the folks at the Christmas Seal Association have asked me to do that number, but before I do, I'd like to say a few words about a holiday custom that's very special to me, Christmas seals. Please use these bright holiday decorations on all your cards and packages. And don't forget to answer your Christmas seal letter quickly and generously. It's a matter of life and breath. And now, as promised, here's the Christmas song. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright. Tiny little tots with their eyes all aglow
will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh, and every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. So I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Though it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. Love and joy come to you, and to you your carol too. And God bless you and send you a happy new year. And God send you a happy new
year. I mean, I have to confess, I don't remember that part of the end of that song. That was I mean the first part, okay, it was like it's Chestnut's Rose, and it's like that ending was unknown to me, I guess, or I just didn't recognize it, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, the reason that I got this album, of course, was because Herb Alpert was on it. I was in a collecting mode. It's like everything that Herb Alpert is on, I'm going to get. And interesting, this came out in 1970, Christmas 1970. By that point, the Tijuana Brass had disbanded. They were done. He had gotten tired of it. Their last concert, it was overseas in 1969. They put out albums in the later 60s that did not match the success of what was in the mid 60s. So he was kind of stagnant. He was at a turning point. He was trying to figure out what to do with his career, but the name was still very recognizable, and the music was obviously very recognizable. So here comes Christmas Seals, and they say, Herb, we need your help. Can you help us out? And, he said yes, and here is the result.
Hi, everybody. This is Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass, and we're very pleased to be here as guests of Christmas Seals. We've been invited to play for you one of our favorite numbers, A Taste of Honey. But first, we'd like to tell you something about Christmas Seals and what they do for you. These small, bright pieces of paper are mighty weapons in the fight against tuberculosis and respiratory disease. You can help this fight by answering your Christmas seal letter quickly and generously, then using lots of Christmas seals on your holiday mail. And now, for Christmas Seals, let's hear A Taste of Honey.
Also, I'll note that this is all mixed in mono. There is no stereo separation at all because, AM radio was mono at the time and pretty much still is. And it's interesting, too, that they used the same script at the beginning. It was basically the same copy. Christmas Seal sent it to him. It's like, please read this. Beltrame, he embellished it, but he got back on script, but you heard that same message. And that's okay because you would only hear these songs, these versions with these intros, every now and then. They wouldn't play them back to back to back to back to back. There's 8 songs on this album. You could spread that over a day and not be repetitive. You could hear one every 3 hours, and then that'd be okay. So, but it is a fascinating album. I'm glad I got it, for the completest sake. And it was interesting the way that they made that album, so it would stop after the first song. So And it's in decent shape for 1970. It's not bad. So there you go. It is, for Christmas seals, it is a matter of life and breath. As this said, now in its 64th year, and they're still going, the Christmas Seal Association. So, it was a good cause. So, cool thing that they put out, and now a cool collectible that you can have there. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. We will see you next time on Gary's Record Collection.